Today, we're going to explore an idea from some pretty ancient sources that really challenges how we answer the most basic question of all, who are you?
I mean, it seems like a simple question, doesn't it? But really, stop and think about it for a second. The last time someone asked who you are, what did you say? Because our modern culture kind of pushes us towards some very specific and maybe kind of limiting answers.
Most of us, we tend to reach for a list, right? Our roles, our accomplishments. I'm a senior analyst, I'm a content creator with 50,000 followers, I'm a marathon runner. We're living in this culture of non-stop self-promotion, where it feels like our value is directly tied to what we do and what we've achieved.
But what if that's not the only way to answer? What if an ancient way of thinking offers this really powerful alternative, one that completely reframes how we see ourselves and our place in the world?
It's called a relational identity. And the core idea here is, well, it's pretty radical. Your identity isn't primarily about you. It's about what you point to. Your value isn't found in hogging the spotlight, but in your role of shining that light on something or someone bigger than yourself. And this just lays out the difference perfectly. On one side, you've got the self as center. That's the whole look at me world, driven by status and getting recognition. But on the other side, you have the self as signpost. Here, the focus totally shifts. It's not about gathering attention for yourself. It's about directing that attention to a higher truth, a greater cause, a bigger idea. It's the huge difference between saying, look at me, and saying, whoa, look at this.
Okay, so what does this actually look like in practice? Let's turn to a really powerful historical example. You could say John the Baptist is maybe the ultimate model of this relational identity.
So when people came to him and they were buzzing with excitement, asking if he was the Messiah they'd been waiting for, notice his very first response. It's a no. Before he even says who he is, he makes it absolutely clear who he is not. He immediately deflects all that honor, and he just keeps doing it. People offer him other prestigious titles. Hey, maybe you're the prophet Elijah come back, or some other legend. And again, he just flatly refuses. He is actively pushing away the glory and the status that other people are practically begging him to take.
So here's the crucial point. When he finally defines himself, he doesn't use a title that gives him personal status. He uses a job description. He is a voice. And a voice isn't the message itself, right? It's just the delivery system for the message. His entire being, his whole identity, was about preparing the way and pointing towards someone else.
But, this idea isn't just for lone prophets out in the desert. It also applies in the world of friendship and intellectual life. It doesn't matter if you're pointing to a spiritual truth, a scientific discovery, or a social cause. Let's look at another great example.
Let's talk about Basil and Gregory. These guys were two of the most brilliant minds of their time. Just incredible theologians and dedicated leaders who were navigating a period of intense confusion. Their words had immense weight. And, just as important, they were lifelong best friends.
Now, they could have so easily used their incredible intellects to build their own personal brands, to win arguments, to get famous, but they didn't. They saw their knowledge as a tool, not as a possession. Their goal wasn't to show everyone how smart they were. It was to use that intelligence to clarify the truth for their community and point them towards it.
So, this brings us full circle. What does a 2,000-year-old idea about identity have to do with us today as we're scrolling through our social media feeds? How do we actually move from being the center of our own story to becoming a signpost?
Well, the source material suggests it all begins with a few key shifts. First, it starts with patiently understanding the truth you want to point to. Then, it's about explaining that truth with kindness, not to win an argument, but to illuminate. And finally, it's a reminder that you don't have to go it alone. Just like Basil and Gregory, we're meant to find strength in our friendships and in our community.
So we'll leave you with this one final thought. It reframes that first question from who are you into something maybe more profound. In a world that tells you every single day to build a brand, to be the center of attention, this ancient wisdom asks a totally different question. If your life, your work, your very identity were a signpost, where would it point?